Slow Horses, a thrilling espionage drama, dives deep into the underbelly of British intelligence. Adapted from Mick Herron's novel of the same name, the series offers a gritty look at the lives of washed-up spies relegated to Slough House, a grimy outpost of MI5. These agents, who have failed spectacularly in their careers, are considered the slow horses of the intelligence world, agents who are deemed too incompetent for the high-stakes game of espionage. The show takes us through a world filled with bureaucracy, secrets, and betrayal, where even the outcasts have a chance to prove their worth. At the heart of the story is Jackson Lamb, a disheveled, cynical veteran of the intelligence service who runs Slough House with an iron fist. Despite his abrasive demeanor and apparent disregard for the agents under his command, Lamb harbors a deep understanding of the spy game and a begrudging loyalty to his team. The plot revolves around the misfit team as they stumble into a high-stakes operation involving a kidnapped student, far-right extremists, and a conspiracy that reaches into the upper echelons of the British government. The story kicks off with River Cartwright, a young and ambitious MI5 agent, botching a high-profile training exercise at Stansted Airport. The failure, which results in a massive public spectacle, leads to his demotion to Slough House. Slough House is a grim and uninspiring office where agents who have made grave mistakes in their careers are sent to wither away in meaningless tasks. River, once full of potential, finds himself under the command of the irascible Jackson Lamb, a man who seems to revel in his team's failures and misfortunes. Jackson Lamb, played with gruff charm by Gary Oldman, is the polar opposite of the typical spy chief. He's slovenly, rude, and brutally honest, making it clear that the agents at Slough House are not expected to return to the glamorous world of MI5's Regent's Park. But beneath his unkempt exterior, Lamb is a sharp operator with a keen understanding of the intelligence world. His jaded outlook on life belies a deep knowledge of the game, and though he doesn't show it often, he cares about his team's survival. The other slow horses include Catherine Standish, a former high-ranking MI5 officer who fell from grace due to her struggles with alcoholism, Louisa Guy, a competent agent whose career was derailed by personal tragedy, Min Harper, a cocky but ineffective agent, and Roddy Ho, an arrogant tech expert who believes he's a genius despite his social ineptitude. These characters are the forgotten and the failed, but they still harbor a desire to prove themselves. The plot thickens when a young Pakistani student named Hassan Ahmed is kidnapped by a group of far-right extremists. The group threatens to execute him live on the internet in a twisted act of political terrorism. Although the case seems far removed from Slough House's usual purview, River Cartwright becomes obsessed with it. Convinced that there is more to the kidnapping than meets the eye, he begins to dig deeper, uncovering a web of lies, corruption, and political maneuvering that connects the kidnapping to MI5's upper echelons. River's investigation draws the attention of his former mentor, Diana Taverner, the Deputy Director General of MI5. Taverner is a cold, calculating operator who plays the game of espionage with ruthless efficiency. She is determined to protect her position within MI5, even if it means sacrificing others. As River gets closer to the truth, he realizes that the kidnapping is part of a larger conspiracy involving Taverner and a shady business tycoon with ties to the far-right group. Jackson Lamb, initially dismissive of River's obsession with the case, eventually steps in when it becomes clear that the slow horses are being set up as scapegoats. With his characteristic cynicism and sharp wit, Lamb navigates the murky waters of espionage, using his years of experience to outmaneuver those who seek to silence his team. The slow horses, despite their flaws and failures, begin to come together as a unit, each contributing their skills to the operation. The tension escalates as the team races against time to rescue Hassan and expose the conspiracy. Along the way, they face numerous obstacles, including a deadly assassin sent to eliminate loose ends, corrupt officials within MI5, and their own personal demons. The show's pacing keeps the audience on edge, as the stakes rise with every twist and turn in the plot. The climax of Slow Horses is a masterclass in tension and drama. As the deadline for Hassan Ahmed's execution looms, the slow horses find themselves in a desperate race to save him. River Cartwright, driven by guilt and a desire for redemption, takes the lead in tracking down the kidnappers. His investigation leads him to a remote farmhouse where Hassan is being held. With the clock ticking down, River and the team must overcome their differences and work together to mount a rescue operation. The rescue is anything but smooth. The slow horses, despite their best efforts, are not the highly trained operatives they once were. Mistakes are made, and the situation quickly spirals out of control. In a tense standoff, River confronts the leader of the extremist group, while Jackson Lamb faces off against the assassin sent to clean up the operation. The scenes are fraught with danger, and the show does not shy away from showing the physical and emotional toll of the violence. In the end, the slow horses manage to rescue Hassan, but not without casualties. The experience leaves them scarred, both physically and mentally, but also proves that they are more than just the failures they were labeled as. The show's final moments reveal the full extent of the conspiracy, with Diana Taverner manipulating events to ensure her survival and the continuation of her career at MI5. Despite their success, the slow horses are left to clean up the mess, with no recognition or reward for their efforts. Jackson Lamb, in a rare moment of vulnerability, acknowledges the sacrifices made by his team and offers a begrudging sense of camaraderie. He knows that their victory is bittersweet, and that the world of espionage will continue to chew up and spit out those who dare to play the game. Yet, in their small corner of MI5, the slow horses have proven that they are not to be underestimated. Season 1 ends on a note of ambiguity, with the team back at Slough House, ready to face whatever comes next. The show's blend of dark humor, sharp writing, and complex characters make it a standout in the espionage genre. It leaves the audience questioning the morality of the intelligence world, where heroes and villains are often indistinguishable, and the line between right and wrong is always blurred. Season 2 continues the dark, witty, and tense narrative established in the first season, once again plunging the audience into the gritty world of Slough House. The season introduces a fresh wave of intrigue with Russian sleeper agents, political conspiracies, and the re-emergence of Cold War tensions. At its core, however, Slow Horses remains a character-driven story, focusing on the flawed yet fascinating members of Slough House. Season 2 picks up shortly after the events of the first, with the team still reeling from the fallout. Jackson Lamb, the unkempt and brutally honest leader of Slough House, remains at the helm, though his disdain for the bureaucratic nonsense of MI5 is as strong as ever. His team, including River Cartwright, Catherine Standish, Louisa Guy, and the rest of the Slow Horses, are once again thrust into the spotlight when they stumble upon a complex web of political intrigue. The season's central plot revolves around a dormant Russian sleeper cell that has been activated after decades of inactivity. This plotline taps into the fears of the Cold War, bringing a modern twist to the classic spy thriller narrative. River Cartwright, still grappling with the shadow of his grandfather, a former MI5 legend, finds himself at the center of this new threat. His determination to prove himself to both his family and his colleagues drives much of the season's action, as he uncovers the layers of deception that surround the sleeper agents. Louisa Guy, still mourning the loss of her partner Min Harper from the previous season, is drawn into a subplot involving a high-profile kidnapping. Her arc this season is one of grief and revenge, as she navigates the emotional fallout while still trying to perform her duties as an agent. Her determination to seek justice for Min adds a personal layer to the season's broader themes of loyalty and betrayal. Catherine Standish, who continues to battle her own demons, particularly her struggles with alcoholism, plays a significant role in unraveling the season's mysteries. Her character development is one of the most nuanced, as she attempts to balance her personal issues with the demands of her job. Standish's history with the agency and her connections to key players in MI5's higher echelons make her a crucial part of the puzzle, even as she remains somewhat of an outsider within the team. The season also delves deeper into the character of Jackson Lamb, providing glimpses into his past and what makes him tick. Despite his rough exterior and often abrasive behavior, Lamb is shown to be a deeply loyal figure who will go to great lengths to protect his team. His relationship with River, in particular, is explored further, revealing a complex dynamic that oscillates between mentorship and antagonism. A new character introduced this season is Nikolai Katinsky, a former KGB agent who has defected to the UK. Katinsky's presence adds another layer of intrigue to the already tangled plot, as his motivations and loyalties remain unclear for much of the season. His interactions with Lamb and the rest of the team create a tense atmosphere, as it's never certain whether he can be trusted. Throughout the season, the Slow Horses find themselves caught between MI5's bureaucratic machinations and the deadly games of international espionage. The stakes are higher than ever, with multiple factions vying for control and secrets that could bring down governments at play. The show maintains its signature blend of tension and dark humor, with the characters' often cynical outlooks providing a sharp contrast to the seriousness of the situations they find themselves in. The climax of Season 2 brings all the narrative threads together in a tense and thrilling conclusion. The sleeper cell plot, which has been simmering throughout the season, reaches its breaking point as the Slow Horses uncover the identity of the mole within MI5. This revelation shakes the very foundations of the agency, as long-standing alliances are called into question and the true scale of the conspiracy is revealed. In a gripping final showdown, River Cartwright and Jackson Lamb confront the orchestrators of the plot. The stakes are personal for both men, with River desperate to prove his worth and Lamb driven by a sense of duty to his team. The confrontation is fraught with tension, as the characters' conflicting motivations and loyalties come to a head. The show expertly balances action with character development, ensuring that the climax is as emotionally resonant as it is exciting. Louisa Guy, having tracked down the people responsible for Min Harper's death, gets her moment of catharsis. Her journey throughout the season has been one of grief and anger, and the resolution of her storyline provides a bittersweet sense of closure. While justice is served, it comes at a cost, highlighting the show's theme of the moral complexities inherent in the world of espionage. Catherine Standish, too, has a pivotal role in the season's conclusion. Her intelligence and resourcefulness help the team outmaneuver their enemies, and her personal growth is evident as she finally begins to come to terms with her past. Standish's journey is one of quiet resilience, and her victory feels earned after the struggles she has endured. The final moments of the season set the stage for future conflicts. While the immediate threat has been neutralized, the shadow of Russian espionage continues to loom large over the team. The political fallout from the events of the season leaves MI5 in turmoil, and the slow horses, as always, are left to pick up the pieces. Yet, despite their misfit status, the season ends on a note of quiet triumph for Jackson Lamb and his team. They've once again proven that they are more than just discarded agents, they are survivors, capable of rising to the challenge no matter how insurmountable it may seem. Season 3 of Slow Horses is darker, more intense, and even more personal than its predecessors. While previous seasons focused on external threats and bureaucratic machinations within MI5, this season delves deeper into the personal lives of the characters, exposing vulnerabilities and traumas that were previously only hinted at. As the stakes rise, so does the complexity of the narrative, weaving together multiple storylines that highlight the thin line between loyalty and betrayal, trust and deception. The season begins with a chilling prologue that sets the tone for the entire arc, a stark reminder that the world of espionage is not only dangerous but also morally ambiguous. Throughout the season, the Slow Horses face enemies both within and outside the organization, with old wounds reopening and new ones being inflicted. This time, their mission isn't just about national security, it's about survival, both as individuals and as a team. Season 3 introduces a fresh set of challenges for the beleaguered agents of Slough House, starting with a mysterious disappearance that immediately puts them on edge. Jackson Lamb, the cynical and foul-mouthed leader of the group, once again takes center stage, though his gruff exterior hides a sharp mind always one step ahead. Lamb remains the heart of Slough House, his caustic wit and unorthodox methods proving invaluable as the stakes get higher. However, this season, we see more of his vulnerability, especially when old enemies resurface, threatening not just his career but also his life. One of the main storylines this season revolves around River Cartwright, who is still grappling with the fallout from his previous missions. Haunted by his past failures and the death of his grandfather, River becomes more reckless, determined to prove himself. His desperation leads him to take on a personal investigation that puts him at odds with both Lamb and the official MI5 hierarchy. This season explores River's relationship with his family in greater depth, particularly his complicated feelings toward his grandfather's legacy. Catherine Standish, the former alcoholic and MI5 officer, continues to struggle with her demons, but this season gives her a more active role in the field. Catherine's journey is one of redemption, and her involvement in the mission takes on a more emotional tone as she seeks to atone for her past mistakes. Her character development is one of the highlights of the season, showing her growth from a sideline figure to a key player in the Slough House team. Louisa Guy and Min Harper, who have become close since the last season, find themselves in the midst of a complex mission involving a suspected double agent within MI5. Their partnership is tested as they navigate the treacherous waters of espionage, where trust is a rare commodity. Their storyline adds a layer of tension, particularly as they begin to question each other's loyalties. Roderick Ho, the tech genius of the group, continues to provide comic relief, but this season also shows his vulnerability as his personal life starts to crumble. Ho's brash confidence is shaken when he becomes the target of a cyber attack, forcing him to confront his own insecurities. His character arc adds a layer of depth to what could have been a one-dimensional role, and his interactions with the rest of the team are both humorous and poignant. Meanwhile, the overarching plot centers on a looming threat from a shadowy organization with ties to Russian intelligence. This season taps into the real-world tensions between the West and Russia, making the stakes feel all too relevant. The Slow Horses must unravel a conspiracy that reaches the highest levels of government, all while dodging assassins, double agents, and their own internal conflicts. The finale of Slow Horses Season 3 delivers a gripping and emotionally charged conclusion that ties together the various narrative threads while leaving room for future developments. As the slow horses close in on the Russian operatives, they discover that the conspiracy goes deeper than they initially thought. The revelation that there is a mole within MI5 shakes the team to its core, leading to a thrilling and tense final confrontation. Jackson Lamb, ever the seasoned strategist, orchestrates a risky plan to expose the mole and neutralize the threat. The operation takes the slow horses to the heart of London, where they must navigate a web of lies, betrayal, and deadly traps. The climax is both action-packed and emotionally resonant, with each character facing their own moment of truth. River Cartwright's storyline reaches a poignant resolution as he confronts his own demons and makes a choice that will define his future within Slough House. His journey from a disgraced agent to a more self-assured and determined figure is one of the most satisfying arcs of the season. The final scene between River and Lamb, where mutual respect is finally acknowledged, is a powerful moment that underscores the series' exploration of flawed but ultimately redeemable characters. Catherine Standish also gets her moment of redemption, proving her worth in the field and earning the respect of her colleagues. Her journey is a testament to the series' focus on second chances, showing that even those who have fallen can rise again. Her quiet strength and determination shine through in the final episodes, making her one of the standout characters of the season. The tension between Louisa Guy and Min Harper reaches a boiling point, culminating in a dramatic twist that leaves their future uncertain. The betrayal and subsequent fallout from their mission add a layer of tragedy to the ending, reminding viewers that in the world of espionage, not everyone gets a happy ending. Their story serves as a reminder of the personal costs of living a life of deception. As the season wraps up, the slow horses are left to pick up the pieces. The final scene, which takes place in the dimly lit halls of Slough House, is a poignant reminder that, despite their victories, the team remains on the fringes of MI5, their fates always hanging in the balance. Yet, there is a sense of camaraderie and resilience among them, a recognition that they are more than just rejects, they are survivors. With Season 4 just around the corner, what are your predictions? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. See you in the next one.